with us. Make sure you've got a bunch of bottled water sitting around. We just bought a bunch because we're in Philadelphia. There seems to be a hurricane headed this way, so we're going to be, I don't know, drafting tonight maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm here. All right, here we are, semifinals of Grand Prix Philadelphia. This is the top 8. This is the semis, and these are two monsters of the game going against each other. Martin Yuza on the right versus his good friend, traveling partner, GP buddy, Shuhei Nakamura, member of the Pro Tour Hall of Fame. This is his 20th Grand Prix top 8. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. I'm in the booth with Steve Sadin, and let's see what happens here. I've had a chance to see Martin use his deck, and it is insane. Shuhei Nakamura told me he's not too happy with his deck, and he leads off with a card that you can kind of see why. He's got a Crosstown Courier, not a particularly exciting card, and Yuza says, I'm going to play a Splatter Thug, but I'm not going to unleash it. All right, Tower Drake for Shuhei, and he passes the turn back.
Yuza, no black yet.
No black mana, and this is a very big deal. Now, if you get a look at some of the cards in his hand, you can see how insane his deck is. Looks like he's just passed it back. Shuhei Nakamura attacks for plays a land and attacks for 2. And does Yuza still does not have the mana? All he needs to do is hit his mana, and he feels like he's going to win these games. He plays a Gorehouse Chainwalker. Don't think he's going to unleash it. Maybe he will.
He has a Deviant Glee in his hand, so if he can make it into a 5/3, that could be pretty good.
Yep, but he's going to need to unleash it to make that happen because he needs to get that toughness up to 2, so the Deviant Glee pumps it up to 3. Looks like he's still thinking about it. Nope, he's not going to do it. He's just going to pass the turn back.
He's going to wait, try to play a longer game. If he draws a black, he'll be able to kill the Tower Drake.
He's going to be able to kill everything. He has 2 Rixmati Guild Mages in hand. I'm here to tell you that's not all of them.
Jeez.
Yes. That card is insane all on its own. Like, if that's all you had in your deck, you'd be pretty happy.
Well, if you hit your mana.
If you can cast it, yes.
Martin has not done yet.
All right, so Void Wielder is going to bounce the Splatter Thug back to Martin's hand, and he is going to replay it. He's sitting on 7 cards here. Still no Unleash for either creature.
Shuhei, he gets to keep chipping away with this 2-power flyer.
That's right.
His Tower Drake coming in turn after turn.
He's thinking about it. And indeed, he does battle just with the Tower Drake. And we see a Fairy Imposter pick up the Void Wielder, recast it, and just keep Martin Yuza. Just cannot get back ahead in this game. He still hasn't hit that other mana, and it looks like he's got 7 cards, I guess, in hand.
No, 8
he had
cards.
8, right. I thought he had 7 last turn. So he is going to discard a card here. You know, he told me that he was considering running 18 land in a fairly aggressive deck just so he could hit his mana drops, because he feels like if he hits his mana, his deck can't lose.
Well, this game, he hasn't been able to hit his mana so far.
That's right. He's missing an entire color.
Very much in the driver's seat as a result of that.
Shuhei keeps developing this board. Shuhei's looking down at 6 mana in all of his colors.
All right, and Shuhei attacks with everyone.
All right, so we can talk. I can talk a little bit more now about Yuza's deck because he posted it on Twitter.
He posted his own deck on Twitter.
He did indeed. So he has a Rakdos.
Oh, let's wait until we resolve this combat.
All right, so what happened here?
So a Gorehouse Chainwalker stepped in front of Shuhei's Crosstown Courier.
Okay, they traded.
Yuza fell to 10.
All right. Yeah, so why don't we finish after this game? I'll give you some more hints about the kind of things he has.
Finally drew his swamp, but is it too late?
That is the question.
So
it doesn't feel like it to me. I think Yuza can claw his way back in, but if Shuhei has any more big tempo plays, I think that's about enough to put Yuza out of this game.
That Armory Guard, though, is going to be tough for Yuza to block.
It is indeed.
To kill.
Yep.
So we do know that he has Deviant Glee, so he could probably make his Splatter Thug big enough to block it.
He's actually got 2 Deviant Glee in his deck. He's also got an Augur Spree, an Annihilating Fire, and an Explosive Impact. So he has a lot of removal. This is the Augur Spree right here.
Right now, he doesn't want Shuei to have enough white mana up to protect his tower drain.
Right. He had enough to almost protect at that time, but not quite.
Right. If Yuza had instead had something like Annihilating Fire in his hand, then Shuei could have protected himself, but not Auger Spree, and Yuza falls to 6. Oh, and Yuza just drew the Annihilating Fire. He can use that to kill off
the Fairy Imposter.
And he still has enough mana to Deviant Click.
Oh, look at that.
But
Tristani's Judgment is going to take out the Splatter Thug here. And are we going to see...
Use Annihilating Fire now?
Or is he going to do it during Shuhei's upkeep, maybe? He could wait. No, he's going to do it right now. And he's going to take out the Fairy Imposter. So he has whittled down Shuhei's board, but Martin is on a 2-turn clock as he's facing down 3 power, and he's only at 6 life. This drops him down to 3, and he's got to have something on the board here. He's drawn another mountain. I think he can potentially play 2 spells here, which might be able to get him back in. All right, this is going to be a Rixmati Guild Mage.
All right.
What's this other one? That's the question.
Gorehouse Chainwalker.
Gorehouse Chainwalker. He is not. Yep, he's not going to do it. So right now he is going to be taking potentially 2 damage here, though.
Right, if he
from
wants
the Armory Guard.
Either double block the Void Wielder, or just put his Guild Mage in front of the Void Wielder.
All right, so Azorius Arrestor is going to take care of the Guild Mage. It forces the chump block, and it's going to bring Martin all the way down to 2. So he's at 2 life here, and he needs to find something to stabilize this board. But Shuhei has been relentless, card after card after card.
Yuza spent so many turns without his mana.
He did.
He could have gotten off to a good aggressive start if he'd had that swamp on turn 2.
Yeah.
But instead,
he had it on turn 7 or something.
He had to spend turn after turn either doing nothing or replaying cards that he'd already cast that didn't even matter that much in the first place because of his opponent's Void Wielder.
All right, there's his second swamp, so now we're at 6 mana, and he just says go. He's going to have an explosive impact here in his hand.
So he can kill the Armory Guard and block the Azorius Arrestor, fall to 1.
That's right. Does it resolve? It does. Make a block there, trade it off. He's so close. Oh, he's got downsize, though. And he follows up with another play, a Selesnya Sentry, and I think that's going to do it for Yuza. Let's see what he's got.
Traitorous Impact.
He's going to Traitorous Instinct just to joke around with his friend, and he's going to have to pack it up for game 1 here. Now, you did get a chance to see. I'm going to walk you through a few of the cards here that Yuza has. He's got Rakdos, actual Rakdos.
Just straight up red black, no splashes.
That's right. No, I mean the card, Rakdos. The legendary demon-y guy, Rakdos, yes. 6/6 flying trample. He's got Carnival Hellsteed. For those of you that played in the pre-release and chose Rakdos as your guild, you remember that's the rare that you got to play. Amazingly awesome card in this deck. It's a perfect 6-drop to just finish things off. He's got triple Rixmati Guild Mage. We saw 2 of them this game in his hand, but he's got 3. He's also got a Rakdos Cackler, a couple of Gorehouse Chainwalkers, a Thrillkill Assassin, 3 Dead Revelers, a Hellhole Flailer. That is a sweet card, a Splatter Thug as well. And then, like I said, he's got the Explosive Impact. He's got an Annihilating Fire, an Auger Spree, 2 Deviant Glees, and a Traitorous Instinct. His deck is very solid. Shuhei, like I said, wasn't super thrilled with his deck when I came over to see him. But, I got to say, the cards he's been playing have been working really well for him.
He has a good curve. He might not want to play cards like Downsize, but it's still a trick.
Yeah.
And if he's able to get out ahead of his opponents, which he has been able to so far this top 8, this could be really good for him.
That's right. We've seen him significantly ahead of Luis for the better part of the match, and really just keeping Luis pinned down where he couldn't have any wiggle room to get out, and he just did it to Martin Hughes as well. Now, he was aided a little bit by Martin being stuck on only red mana sources.
Now, this game, Martin's on the play. If he's able to get his mana, should be a very different story.
Yeah, I think that we're going to definitely see Martin use make sure that he's got all of his colors here. He doesn't want to go out of this GP on 2 non-games with such a really good deck. He does have also, I'll note, a Rakdos Guild Gate in his deck. So that's another card that really helps smooth out his mana. When you have Rakdos himself, in your deck, it's like your mana. Well, he costs red, black, black, but he definitely pushes you down a path. Rakdos, Lord of Riots, and he fits very well in the Rakdos deck. Obviously, he wants you. He requires that an opponent has lost life this turn, or else you can't even cast him. But I got to say that Yu's deck looks like it's very well suited to make sure that that's happening over and over. Again, just the guild mages themselves, the Rix, those are so tough to deal with, and it doesn't look like Shuhei's deck is particularly well suited. We did see an Armory Guard, which is good against them because they can't really shrink it down to kill it. You can still get at least a block in with it, but things like Crosstown Courier lose a ton of value when they can just pay 2 mana to kill it if you bother blocking.
And when you have the guild mage, it becomes generally more difficult for your opponent to block at all.
Yeah,
allowing you to cast Rakdos, Lord of Riots.
That's true. All right, so Martin does have his colors here. Yep. Does he have enough? Is he happy with it? He is. He's going to lead with his guild gate, so his mana will not be a problem this game. It's just a matter of what spells he gets and how he chooses to cast them. It looks like he's going to unleash a Gorehouse Chainwalker here, and I think it's going to be met with an Azorius Arrestor. So that's going to hold the Chainwalker back for a turn. And is there a Dead Revelers? There is indeed.
Do you think it's going to be a 3/4?
I absolutely do. I can understand the Splatter Thug, but I think in this case, Martin is going to be able to unleash here and just keep beating down.
He has Traitorous Instinct, 6 power on the board.
That's right. On turn 3, no less.
He could have a huge attack next turn.
He could. He could attack for 10 damage next turn, not lose a creature in the process.
Playing the Dead Revelers, but
and
no,
he's just going to ship it back. It's an interesting play. Let's see how this develops from here. This does mean that Shuhei doesn't have any attacks as he just passes the turn back with a Vassal Soul.
Oh,
Deviant Glee, that's an interesting one. It goes much better on a 3/4 than it does on a 2/3, but
sure. But even if Yuza puts it on his 3/2 Chainwalker, it becomes difficult for Shuhei to block this turn. If Shuhei does play something big enough to block it next turn, Yuza can just Traitorous Instinct it and get in another big attack.
That's true. Yeah. Shuhei doesn't have good blocks on either of Yuza's creatures here.
Well, he could double block the Dead Revelers if he's not afraid of...
It's still just a trade, though, right?
Well, if he's not afraid of a removal spell.
Oh, that too, yeah.
If he tries to do that and Yuza has basically anything, you can end up without a board. Does enchant it with Stevenly and attacks with both. Now, Shuhei has to decide, is he willing to risk both of his creatures? No.
He's just going to take it all. He just can't risk it.
No. He knows that Yuza's deck is really good. Just doesn't want to get blown out.
That's right. Then again, how much of a blowout is letting the the pretty intense Rakdos deck just hit you for 7?
Especially when your opponent has Traitorous Instinct.
That's right. All right, so it looks like Martin is questioning whether or not to take the 4, and I think he's going to.
Right, so even though Martin doesn't have any removal spells, any tricks in his hand, he stops for a minute, lets his opponent think that he might be thinking about something. Doesn't want to just fast forward through every step. Shuhei trying to figure out what to play post-combat. Does he have a way to deal with the 5/3 Chainwalker? Is the Dead Reveler going to...
He does. He has an arrest, so it's just a straight-up 2-for-1 here.
But Yuza got 5 damage in with it.
Yeah, that's not bad. I don't know if that's worth... probably worth a card, I guess.
You got one of the best removal spells out of your opponent's hand.
Yeah.
And you got him for 5 damage.
Yeah, I'm still not happy about it, I suppose, but it's not the worst case scenario, that's for sure.
Yuza just reloaded with another 5/3.
He did. Did he unleash this one, or is he thinking about it, or?
Seems like he's thinking about it. No,
he's just gonna pass it back. He figures a double block's the same either way here. All right, so Shuhei's gonna battle in there with the Vassal Soul.
Yuza takes 2, falls to 14.
Play a gate and play a Stealer of Secrets and pass. So that's not a particularly strong play at this point in the game, but it's not too bad. He still has more spells to commit to the board. Now, what if Yuza Traitorous Instincts the Stealer of Secrets here? What does that look like?
I think you'd be better off. Oh, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, Shuhei certainly doesn't want to let Yuza hit him with his own Stealer for 4 and get a card back right away too. You could also just do the Vassal Soul, which doesn't have any blocks.
No, if you steal either the Stealer Secrets or the Arrestor, Yuza's suddenly representing 11 damage.
Yeah, and no blocks, no good blocks.
Shuhei has to chump block.
Yeah. So it looks like he's probably going to go for that play here.
The likely outcome to that is that Shuhei would chump block the Spawn of Rixmati and fall to 5, unless he has a downsize or a Bluster Squall to protect him.
That's right. And that would also get Martin Yuza his card that he invested back immediately.
Right. Dispel only counters instants.
That's right.
Not stop Traitor's Instinct. Yeah,
and sure enough, Martin Yuza is going for it. So he's got a 4-2, he's got a 5-3, and he's got a 2-3, and he's battling with everybody. What is Shuhei? Oh, I do see actually the downsize in his hand, so he can use that to nullify. Yep, and he does exactly that. It nullifies the Stealer Secrets. Wow, so he's taken 7 damage here. He's at 4 life, and Martin Yuza is in burn range, at least for explosive impact.
And Shuhei attacks with everything, knocks Yuza at 8, and draws a card with his Stealer Secrets.
So Shuhei Nakamura is racing right now against the Rakdos deck with his 2 power, 3 mana guys.
Being dead too.
Absolutely, he's sitting down 8. If Shuhei can put up something here that can block and not die, he's going to probably represent lethal damage for the next turn. I don't think there is anything that can get in the way of that Spawn of Rixmati, though. Oh, I guess I was wrong. Soul-Sworn Spirit is going to lock down the Spawn of Rixmati, and he also bought back his Azorius Arrestor with the Fairy Imposter, so now Martin Yuza knows that one of his creatures is just going to get arrested anyway next turn. And we see that Shuhei still has that 1 ominous mana up.
Oh, we see the...
Oh, that's a Hellhole Flailer?
But he can play it as a 4/3 and sacrifice it.
He can't sacrifice
Shuhei,
it.
but not in time.
Not unless he hits a land drop here.
No,
yeah.
With a land, he can only get up to 6 mana.
Oh, that's right. He can only get to 6. You're right. And he's also going to sacrifice it. So what he's going to do is he is going to have to block one of these creatures. He's going to fall down to 2, and Martin Yuza, bless you, is going to be able to kill him. If Shuhei has a way to get rid of 2 creatures at once, he has Bluster Squall.
And that's 8.
And that's it. Shuhei Nakamura advances to the finals. Wow.
So Shuhei Nakamura won the last individual Grand Prix that he played in.
And we can see why.
Last month. Is he going to do it again?
You will not find me predicting him not to win at this point. I have just been amazed at his play. He's had some great draws, and he's had some great stuff. Looks like we're going to try to hit up the other match here. We have Lucas versus Greg Smith, and hopefully we're going to get a chance to see some of that right here. Wow, Martin Yuza falls. You know, he says, he put on Twitter, he's like, I better win this thing, you know.
And you're telling me Shuhei wasn't that happy with his deck?
Yeah, he said he thought it was between a 1-2 or a 2-1. Like that's about where he guessed that it would land.
Well, it's already 2-0 with it. Let's see if he can complete the sweep.
Shuhei Nakamura into the finals with Azorius. And that is not how you spell Azorius. Lucas Kovski with Izzet Egro is playing against Greg Smith right now. Selesnya Splash Black, and we're looking to get back over there and check out that match. All right, welcome back to coverage of Grand Prix Philadelphia. We are in the semifinals of the top 8 of the largest Magic tournament ever played on North American soil here. We have on the left side of your screen Greg Smith, and he is playing Selesnya with some black in there, and he's playing against Yukis Yaklovsky, who is a very, very aggressive Izzet deck. Now, this is one of the archetypes that's taken a little while to take form, the aggressive Izzet deck.
Not easy to draft.
That's true.
The first few weeks of the format, I didn't know how to do it.
That's true. I didn't either. I'm still figuring it out.
I kept losing every time I would try to draft an Izzet deck.
But Yaklovsky seems to have it pegged pretty well here. It looks like he subbed in a few cards as well, as he is up 1 game versus Greg Smith. And I saw a few black cards in there as well. He's making sure that his deck is properly randomized here.
Did he change into a Rakdos deck?
You know, I don't know. I saw some swamps and I saw some black cards, so there's a reasonable chance of that happening.
Harry Corbasi.
That's right.
In the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I saw his list. It was just straight Izzet when I saw it, but could be a little bit more here.
Let's see if we can get Rashad to raise the mic volume.
We're going to try to talk a little bit louder for you guys here, but we're trying to keep our voices down because our voices are carrying very easily across the room now that everybody's gone.
Right. Yesterday there were 2,000 players playing.
Yes.
Today there are 4.
Yeah.
And Rashad just raised the volume in our microphones. Hopefully that'll make a difference.
And I'll try to raise my voice as well for the normal parts, and then we get to the part where we're talking about actual cards. We will have to lower our voices again, and you might have to bear with us here, but there is... We cannot interact with the tournament. You know, we can't interfere with what's going on here.
But are these just people playing around with...
Yeah, I think that we do not have the properly camera here. Rashad. We're watching some guys play Magic. I like it.
All right.
Hey, there's some Magic.
Right, and here we see Lucas got off to a very quick start.
This looks like more like the deck that we saw.
And a Spider Tug, and 2 Pursuit of Flights. Yeah,
whoa, and we're there just in time to see Greg Smith extend the hand to Yukis Yaklovsky because it looks like it was enough to kill him either way. And Greg says, all right, man, good luck in the finals. And we're going to have Lucas Yaklovsky, and he is going to be playing a very aggressive Izzet deck against Shuhei Nakamura. And his, you know, it's actually pretty aggressive the way it's played out as well, his Azorius deck.
Yeah. So now, Lucas Yaklovsky and Martin Yusa, both from the Czech Republic. Oddly, Martin spends a lot more time with Shuhei Nakamura, who lives in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Shuhei and Martin, they're at all the Grand Prix. Right, wow, we had the final set.
You did. Congratulations. You did on one of them, not on the other.
Now,
there's still 2
Shuhei Nakamura playing in his 20th Grand Prix top 8.
It's funny to hear you say that, Steve. It's just
a mind-boggling number. Playing against Lucas Jakowski, playing his very first.
Got to see the semifinals of the iPhone text message versus somebody playing a random deck.
Yeah. Well, now we're on on to the actual finals.
Yeah, so now we're heading into the finals.